Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/PettyRevenge. In today's episode, back from college break to have nothing. So you won't work because you want to know what happens on GOT? Fine. I took my Charmin Ultra Strong toilet paper away from my housemate because he is disgusting and ungrateful. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Back from college break to have nothing. I'm so proud of my daughter for this. Long story though, sorry. My daughter 19F had a group of high school friends for years. Fast forward freshman year college and her new roommate becomes part of the friend group. I was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer the same day she started classes that year. And as the year goes on, her relationship with some of these friends starts to have problems, but the roommate still seems solid, so they sign a lease for sophomore year. By the beginning of sophomore year, all of her high school friends, 4, have turned on my daughter and she's struggling to figure out why. By the end of September, she finds out the roommate has been playing both sides of the fence and has ultimately sided with my daughter's old friends and continues to see them regularly. This of course creates a nasty living situation for my daughter, but she does her best to manage through. As time goes on, I come to find out that her friends turned on her because they felt that her emotional needs were toxic for them to be around. My daughter was having panic attacks about my cancer and other normal things and was reaching out to her friends for someone to talk to, and they couldn't handle it. A few weeks ago, the roommate invited 2 of these friends to stay over. My daughter asked that they pick another time as she had work and then an all-nighter ahead of her finishing her finals, and she didn't want to be in the apartment if they were going to be. The roommate ignored this request. My daughter walked into them being there after work and had a panic attack. The roommate looked at her and said, "See, this is why you have no friends when you behave like this. What do you expect?" This week my daughter managed to find a way to move out before the roommate came back from break. The couch, the coffee table, the rug, the pots and pan, the dishes, the shower curtain, on and on, all of it was my daughter's. The internet, the electric, the water, all in my daughter's name. She took everything, moved out, and left the roommate to come back from break with none of it working and all of the shared space items gone. And left her a note signed, "What did you expect?" Oh, I wish I could be a fly on the wall when she walks in. Edit/update, just saying thank you to everyone for the love and support. Wow! You guys are great. I don't know that there will be an update, as my daughter specifically asked the roommate to not contact her unless it involves the lease, so we will see. Much love. Update: my daughter received a text from one girl in the group, not the roommate, asking if they can talk to her about bringing some of the stuff back as the roommate was thinking of calling the cops. My daughter simply said no. I only took my stuff, so go ahead and call the cops, but don't ever text me again. So not much of an update, but at least we know that revenge was definitely served. So you won't work because you want to know what happens on GOT? Fine. This happened in 2019, when the infamous last season of GOT came out. Back then I was working a shitty customer service job, and because I was a student at the time, had to work late afternoon/night shifts. The company being permanently understaffed, there were usually 2 people on these type of shifts, in this case, yours truly and the person we will call Shitty McShit, who also worked mostly graveyard shifts. I can write an entire book of stories about Shitty McShit that would showcase the reasoning behind this name, but I'll save them for later. The bottom line is this dude barely ever showed up to work, and when he did show up, he would call his friends from the company phones to keep the line busy or just spend all his time eating and watching movies. Besides refusing to work, this guy was also incredibly rude and entitled. What I know is he came from money, but his parents made him work and he was not amused. He was 20-ish if I remember correctly, but threw tantrums like a 3-year-old. Now, night shifts were usually quiet and both me and Shitty each minded our own business, but it wasn't the case that week. Some service was down somewhere and calls were flooding in, to the point where I barely had time to breathe between calls. At some point, I notice Shitty's phone has been disconnected. He's logged off and opened HBO to watch the GOT season premiere, while hundreds of calls and emails keep coming in. I go over to him and ask him to please do his job, and his response is chill. It won't take long, I just really want to know what happens on this episode. I didn't have time to yell at this idiot, and even if I had, it would have been useless. What I did instead is I went back to my workstation and messaged him what happened throughout the course of the entire episode, scene by scene, on Slack and email, with our team leaders CC'd in. He slammed the keyboard and went back to taking calls. It made me feel better, but not good enough. I knew his university schedule wouldn't allow him to watch the episodes right as they came out, so every week, I would religiously email and Slack him a message containing all the spoilers, titled "Got Summary, I hope this helps you concentrate on work." Was it petty and childish? Yes. Was it delicious and beautiful? Also yes. Do I regret it? No. I took my Charmin Ultra Strong toilet paper away from my housemate because he is disgusting and ungrateful. I've lived with this housemate for a couple months now, and he is shown to be a completely disgusting human being. He does not clean up after himself, and after I'm done doing my share of house cleaning, i.e. floors, bathroom, and kitchen, he comes over to use it with no regards to the fact that I spent hours on my off day to keep it clean. I've tried communicating with him that I cannot live in an area where there are oil splatters from last night's cooking on the floor or the toilet seat and bathroom floors covered in urine. Not much has changed from my conversations with him, so I took it upon to myself to take away his keys to comfort, the Charmin Ultra Strong toilet paper. As small as this seems, I've been selflessly supplying the toilet paper and spending extra because I can't use toilet paper that are as thin as paper. I now keep the toilet paper in a secured location, and it's been a week since I've seen the toilet paper be replenished. I'm not quite sure what's being used to clean, and I don't want to find out. You're probably thinking that it's inconvenient to walk to my tightly secured toilet paper every time I have to use the restroom, but I don't work a stressful 9 to 5 so that this horseman of pestilence can enjoy the fruits of my labor. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.